Welcome to the deep dive. Imagine a place where world-class jazz comes alive, not in some massive arena, but in really intimate settings, places that bring you like within feet of the music.
Hmm.
Today, we're diving into the Prescott Jazz Summit. It's this Arizona cultural gem that's been celebrating America's original art form for well over 2 decades now.
Yeah, it's definitely more than just incredible performances. Those are there. What's really insightful, I think, about the Summit's approach is this kind of dual commitment.
Dual commitment.
Right. It's not just about, showcasing jazz, but actively cultivating its future through education, building community, and creating an experience with music that feels incredibly personal.
Okay, so we've pulled together quite a bit here, articles, reviews, detailed briefs about the summit. It gives us a pretty comprehensive view, I think.
Seems like it.
Our mission today is to unpack what truly makes this event so special, from, its star-studded lineup and unique venues, right through to its deep dedication to nurturing the next generation of jazz talent.
Right.
So where do we even begin to unpack the magic of this event? It feels like there's a lot here.
Well, maybe start at the core. The Prescott Jazz Summit, it's an annual festival, happens in Prescott, Arizona. Arizona's a mile-high city.
Right.
And it's impressive how long it's been going strong. It celebrated its 23rd year in 2024, and it's looking ahead to its 24th in 2025. So this isn't some flash-in-the-pan event. It's got real staying power.
That longevity really speaks volumes, doesn't it? And you touched on its dual mission earlier. Why is that combination preserving and promoting jazz while also focusing so heavily on education? Why is that so impactful? Or maybe challenging to pull off for a festival?
Oh, it absolutely is a challenge, and I think it's what truly sets the summit apart.
Yeah.
Lots of festivals excel at bringing in big names, great talent.
Sure.
But the Prescott Jazz Summit seems to strategically ensure the longevity of the art form itself by actively investing in its future. It's not just words on paper, like a mission statement. It feels like a living commitment to nurturing that next generation. And that's just fundamental, isn't it, for any artistic genre to really thrive?
Yeah, absolutely. And the sources, they keep emphasizing the atmosphere, like relaxed, fun, incredibly intimate. The director, Mike Vax, apparently aims to present world-class music in a setting where there's strong interaction between the musicians and the audience. How central is that vibe to the summit's identity?
Oh, it's paramount. Yeah. That desire for intimacy seems to be the real driving force behind the whole experience.
Okay.
It's why Mike Vax, who's not just the festival's director and founder, but also leads the Stan Kenton Legacy Orchestra, why he's become such a central figure. His vision for that direct engagement, artist to listener, it really shapes everything.
And behind the scenes, making this all possible, you've got the Friends of Big Band Jazz, right? FBBJ.
Exactly. They're a 501c3 nonprofit. The parent sponsor, really. And they're dedicated to preserving jazz and big band music and, crucially, driving all those educational initiatives we should dig into.
Definitely. Well, we've sort of touched on the foundation now, the mission, the people. But ultimately, it's the sound, isn't it? That's what draws people in. What kind of musical tapestry do they weave?
Well, the sources point to a wonderfully diverse musical landscape.
Yeah.
You get everything from traditional to contemporary jazz,
Okay.
big bands, small ensembles, even some Latin influences thrown in there. But when you look at the actual names who perform, who are some of the standouts, the ones that really embody that spirit of the summit and its commitment to, world-class artistry.
Well, the roster's pretty phenomenal, actually, and they bring such rich histories. Take Walt Johnson, trumpeter. Played with absolute titans like Elvis Presley, Frank Sinatra, Barry Manilow, Barbra Streisand, even contributed to the Naked Gun movie soundtracks.
Wow, okay. His presence alone just instantly elevates the caliber, doesn't it?
Totally. Then there's Tom Bones Malone, from the Blues Brothers.
Oh, yeah,
He
multi-instrumentalist.
plays like half a dozen instruments, apparently, including the sousaphone. And he shared this fascinating story about an SNL skit he was in that actually launched the Blues Brothers.
No kidding.
Yeah. And get this, he contributed over 1,600 arrangements to The Late Show with the CBS Orchestra.
1,600. That's just an astonishing body of work, and all brought to this intimate setting in Prescott. Amazing.
You also have Louise Beranger, described as a fine trumpeter and flugelhorn player. She played with the Harry James Band back in the early 80s.
Right, another legend.
And Ronnie Rose, Las Vegas Entertainer of the Year, known for his powerful, really exuberant Vegas-style vocals. The reviews say he brought audiences to their feet with Louis Prima's Jump, Jive, and Wail.
You can picture that.
Yeah.
And sometimes partnering with Ronnie is Mike Gooch Gersullo, Another trumpeter and vocalist doing those great Vegas-style renditions.
It's also worth noting Beth Letterman, the pianist. She was apparently dubbed the MVP of the weekend at the 23rd Summit because she played in most of the sets.
Wow, that's dedication and stamina.
Right. And Howard Alden, internationally known for his skill on the 7-string guitar, that adds a really unique, rich texture to the sound, I imagine.
Definitely. So beyond these, legendary performers, the Summit also seems to be a place for some intriguing musical discoveries, like unexpected things.
Yeah, tell us about Tony Vaca's surprising demonstration.
Okay, this sounds genuinely mind-blowing. Tony Vaca apparently demonstrated how the exact same chord progressions show up in Sonny Rollins' Oleo, Gershwin's I Got Rhythm, and, wait for it, the theme song from the Flintstones.
Get out! The Flintstones.
The Flintstones. It's just a fantastic way to illustrate those underlying structures in jazz.
Yeah.
Making it really accessible.
That's brilliant.
And then there's Rick Schmidt. He introduces a truly unique sound using his pedal steel guitar on jazz standards.
A pedal steel in jazz.
Exactly. And apparently it's remarkable how he makes it blend perfectly. It doesn't sound country at all, just expands what you might expect from jazz instrumentation.
That's fascinating. And you also hear original compositions.
Yeah, like The Golden Princess. It's described as a moving piece by Dominic Duras, who's a Parisian-born trumpeter now living out in Kingman, Arizona. He performed it with Mike Vax.
Nice. And there's a recurring favorite, too, the Trumpet Summit set.
Right, featuring these dynamic trumpet quartets. It seems like all these performances, they really tie back to that deep commitment to education we mentioned earlier, don't they?
Absolutely. Music education is just such a fundamental pillar for them. It spans from kindergarten all the way through 12th grade.
That's quite a range.
And they offer free workshops and master classes led by these professional musicians we've been talking about. Mike Vax estimates they have a really high market value, just invaluable learning opportunities for the student.
Free workshops with pros of that caliber. That's huge.
And a real highlight seems to be how the festival actively showcases student ensembles from local schools like Prescott High School and Yavapai College.
So they get to perform at the festival.
Yeah. They don't just perform their own rehearsed numbers, but they actually get to intermingle and even sit in with the Summit's professional musicians sometimes.
Wow, trial by fire.
Yeah.
In a good way.
Totally. I read that the Prescott High School Jazz Band, for example, had 6 freshmen who'd apparently only been practicing for 3 weeks.
Oh, wow.
But thanks to the fantastic acoustics in the Ruth Street Theater, they sounded incredibly good.
That just speaks volumes about the power of that direct mentorship, and maybe the acoustics, too.
Right. And Mike Vax himself teaches this fascinating course, teaching jazz performance and improvisation concepts through the use of historical perspectives.
Okay, unpack that a bit.
Well, he takes students and, by extension, the audience too, on this journey. Starts with jazz's early origins in the 1900s. Rooted in things like spirituals, work songs, those vocal traditions, and African rhythmic roots, all influenced by military band music, too.
Right, the early blend.
Then he traces it through the jazz age, the 1920s, which was basically the pop music of its day, shifting from that heavy march feel to a lighter, more danceable 2-beat rhythm. And improvisation started being based more on triads, solos built right from the core notes of a chord.
Simpler solos. Based on the melody scores.
Exactly. But the real breakthrough, as Mike Vax emphasizes, was Louis Armstrong. His Hot 5 and Hot 7 bands pioneered improvising based on the entire progression of chord changes, not just the melody.
Ah, so improvising over the harmony itself.
Yes, that was like a quantum leap. It allowed for far richer, more complex solos that could really dance over the whole harmonic structure. Big change.
Huge. And from there?
Then you move into the big band or swing era, heavy focus on arrangements, solos were often minimal, all about that steady dance beat. And then bebop emerges, comes out of these late-night jam sessions where musicians wanted more freedom from the tight arrangement.
Racing out.
Exactly, leading to faster tempos, really complex chords, and a much, much freer rhythm section.
It's quite the evolution, and you can see the tangible impact of this educational focus.
Oh yeah, incredibly so. There's this example of Reggie Thomas, a pianist and educator. He worked with some student rhythm sections during a workshop.
Okay.
And apparently it led to a very noticeable improvement in their performance later that evening. You could literally hear the direct benefit of that real-time coaching.
That's fantastic. Direct results.
And the broader support from the Friends of Big Band Jazz, the FBBJ, is just huge. beyond the workshops.
What else do they do?
Well, they've provided over $65,000 in scholarships to jazz camps. They've funded school jazz programs directly, and even made donations to help musicians in need, including to Habitat for Humanity for the Musicians Village down in New Orleans after Katrina.
Wow, that's a serious commitment. It really ensures the art form thrives at all levels, doesn't it? From the kids learning to the pros needing support.
Exactly. And this commitment even extends to a documentary called Jewel of the Desert.
Oh, what's that about?
It's shown at the summit, features Mike Vax and the Prescott High School Jazz Band, but the main story, it's about this brass band made up exclusively of musicians in their 70s, 80s, and 90s from a retirement community.
Get out. That's amazing.
Playing purely for the love of music, it really emphasizes that intergenerational passion for jazz, connecting the students with these veteran players.
That sounds incredibly moving. So we've seen the passion, the organization that fuels this festival. But what's it actually like when you're there, immersed in the music?
Right, that's where the immersive experience really comes in. The summit truly prioritizes this close connection between musicians and the audience. There's this reviewer, Shelley Galicchio.
Yeah.
She personally prefers to be within 10 feet of the performers, even said she wished she could sit on the stage.
Huh? I get that feeling sometimes. And that's echoed by another critic, Kathalina Burt. She says, it's an intimate space, but those are the best concerts. The ones where you can hear the scratch from the musicians striking the strings.
Yeah.
And see the expressions on their faces.
Exactly. It highlights the power of that proximity. You get a much deeper connection to the music and the performers themselves.
Yeah, sure. And the venues must play a huge role in creating that unique atmosphere.
Oh, definitely. The Hasayampa Inn, it's this historic hotel near the Old Square in Prescott. It hosts the really intimate gatherings, meet and greets, jazz brunches, smaller concerts. Sets a very relaxed tone right away.
Nice.
Then you've got the Elks Opera House Theater. Beautifully restored, apparently acoustically dynamic, that classic opera-style building.
Okay, a bit grander.
Yeah, used for the grand opening concerts and the main evening performances, so it's more formal but still feels close from the descriptions. The Ruth Street Theater at Prescott High School, that's the one known for its fantastic acoustics, hosts the big Saturday big band concerts and those educational workshops we talked about.
Right, where the students sounded so good.
Exactly. And then for those more spontaneous casual moments, you've got iconic local spots like Murphy's and Torme's Restaurant. They host the popular Sunday evening jam sessions.
Ah, the jam session, the perfect end to a jazz festival weekend.
Totally. And they're even introducing a new venue for the 2025 summit, the Hazeltine Theater. So it keeps evolving.
It sounds like each venue really adds its own unique flavor to the weekend.
Yeah. And kind of rounding out this whole immersive experience is the long-standing master of ceremonies, Pete Barbuti.
Ah, the comedian.
That's him. Celebrated his 90th birthday in 2024. Been entertaining for over 78 years, over 1,000 national TV appearances, 90 times on The Tonight Show.
Wow. What kind of energy does he bring? He must have some stories.
Oh, tons of stories, apparently. He brings this blend of, like, genuine warmth and seasoned humor. The reviews mention his jokes are sometimes corny.
Yeah, okay.
But they clearly resonate and add to that relaxed community feel. He seems like an integral part of the festival's personality.
A real institution.
So the whole weekend is packed with these signature events. The meet and greet, the Sunday jazz brunch, and that super popular Sunday evening jam session where musicians just spontaneously pair up and clearly delight in playing together.
It sounds like a genuinely joyous close to the whole thing.
Yeah. And all of this, the education, the amazing performances, the intimate venues, it really speaks to the deep community roots of the Prescott Jazz Summit.
How so? How integrated is it?
Well, it seems genuinely integrated with the Prescott community. It blends these renowned national artists with local talent from the Quad Cities area and Phoenix.
Oh.
And these local musicians, they're described as the backbone of our musical presentations, which is a pretty powerful statement, I think.
That is strong. It shows real respect for the local scene.
And Yavapai College plays a huge role, too. They have two jazz big bands, the Rough Riders and the Trailblazers.
The Trailblazers.
Yeah, that one's comprised of pros, retired musicians, and scholarship students, all under director Chris Tenney. And apparently, basically every pro in town has played with the Trailblazers at some point.
Wow. So it's a real hub.
Totally.
Well,
and they even helped a student get a full scholarship to Berkeley for an original samba he wrote.
That's direct life-changing impact right there. Amazing.
Isn't it? And there's a wonderful local story, too. The Three Prescotteers.
The Three Prescotteers.
Yeah.
Sounds fun.
These were three Prescott High School classmates. Dan Falk, Steve Annabale, and Zirk Bonner. They all went on to have successful music careers in New York and elsewhere,
Okay.
and then they reunited to perform together on stage back at the Summit in Prescott.
Ah, that's a beautiful full circle moment. Really highlights that nurturing environment we talked about.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
that nurturing environment, it's really bolstered by vital local support. The business community of the Quad Cities are described as great believers in the arts. They show their commitment through ongoing sponsorships and advertising.
That community buy-in is crucial for something like this to last.
For sure. And one key element sort of connecting all these threads is the enduring spirit of the Stan Kenton Legacy Orchestra.
Right, because Mike Vax heads both the Summit and the SKLO.
Precisely. This SKLO is also a 501c nonprofit fully approved by the Kenton estate. They perform Kenton-inspired music, obviously, to preserve his legacy. They often tour high schools and colleges doing educational work, too.
So that educational mission carries through there as well.
Definitely. And they've even released a new CD, The Stage Door Still Swings. Shows that the legacy isn't static. It's a living, evolving thing.
That's great to hear.
And the festival isn't without its charm and quirky anecdotes either.
Ooh, like what?
Well, back in 2005, they declared Mel Zelnick Day for the veteran drummer Mel Zelnick.
Huh, nice tribute.
And apparently there was some mysterious blue glove delivered to Mike Vax from a New Orleans trumpeter named Kevin Ray Clark. Hints at some kind of fun, friendly rivalry.
Little inside jokes and traditions, part of the fabric.
Yeah. And finally, Mike Vax himself, he isn't shy about dreaming big for this thing.
What's his big dream?
He envisions the Prescott Summit someday rivaling other really well-established jazz festivals, like the ones in Sedona, Telluride, Vail.
Aiming high.
Exactly. It's not just ambition, though. It really showcases the festival's ongoing evolution and its deep potential for continued growth.
Hmm?
You know, aiming to bring even more world-class jazz to Arizona.
It's quite a story they've built there.
So wrapping this up, what does this all mean for you, the listener? The Prescott Jazz Summit is, well, clearly more than just a festival.
Yeah, much more.
It's this vibrant, really intimate celebration of jazz, deeply rooted in its community, passionately committed to education, and truly dedicated to preserving a rich musical legacy.
And maybe you should consider how these kinds of focused, community-driven events really contribute to the enduring vitality of artistic genres like jazz. They provide a unique, really valuable experience that goes way beyond just entertainment. They foster genuine connection, actual growth, something that feels increasingly rare in our fast-paced world, maybe.
Yeah. So here's a final thought. In an age of, constant information overload and these massive grand-scale events, what can we maybe learn from a festival that really prioritizes close human connection, nuanced sound, and the direct passing of knowledge from one generation to the next?
Proving that sometimes, yeah, the most profound experiences happen when you're, like Shelley Galicio said, within 10 feet of the magic.